All right, so welcome to the Saying Stuff podcast. This is a podcast where we have one major topic, which today is the Area 51 raid, and then we talk about random shit afterwards. My name is Eric, and this is my friend Chad.
Hello.
Travis is away in Utah currently, so Chad is filling in for him, and then when Travis gets back, he's going to start trucking, so he's not going to be here really anyway, so Chad will be helping out with podcasts from now on. Except for ones that Travis is able to fill in on. Anyways, so the Area 51, right?
Yes.
How do you feel about it?
Me personally, or is this like a theoretical thing if it actually happens, or are we talking about the meme?
If it actually happened, how would you feel about it?
If it actually happened, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't be for it, just because I do know that they do test highly advanced equipment there, which
that's actually not proven.
Well, I know it is, but it isn't. Like, there has been multiple reports of highly advanced training there, because that's where they actually I don't want to say invented, but that's where they tested one of their new jets.
I know they test jets there because it's a Air Force training base.
Which, that's why I say highly advanced, because usually when we come out with the new jet and stuff like that, it's more advanced than the last.
True.
So that is known, and I can't for one say that the whole alien thing and all that stuff going on there is true, but I also believe that there is a certain standpoint that there is a few things that maybe we should not know of. You know what I mean? Like that
right.
we shouldn't. That maybe the government's like, well, we'll tell them in 10 years. You know what I mean? Or maybe they think that we're not ready to handle it yet because all the irrational thinkers out there.
Right. If you don't know what Area 51 is, it is a secretive flight testing Air Force base that began testing in 1955, around the time reports of UFO sightings started to come out. They have been testing throughout the times, new advanced airplanes and jets for the U.S. Air Force. Area 51 was the official name of the Nevada Test and Training Range. It is at Groom Lake of Nevada, and the site is still very secretive. And currently, what is supposed to happen is September 20th of 2019. Thousands and thousands of people have agreed to show up and storm it.
Does it say how many followers are on that page?
This page has 749K members. This isn't the actual event page,
right?
Though. This is just the
kind of like a spin-off of the actual page.
Yeah.
Right.
So obviously, the actual page has more people in it.
Right. Which is funny because I just thought about this a couple of days ago. There are a lot of those people might take it as a joke, which I'm sure a lot of them do. But you do have to think what that 1% that is actually going to actually show up and try to rate it.
I mean, I heard. I'm not sure how factual this is.
Right.
But I heard that a lot of the planes have been booked for that day to go to Nevada. Like, most of the flights are booked for that day.
Right.
So I'm not sure if people are actually going to show up. And if people do show up, I'm not sure what's going to happen.
A lot of gunfire.
If they actually storm it, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless people are just playing it to be like a fun day.
Which, I do stand behind of why they want to storm it. You know what I mean? I do believe that the government should tell us what's there. You know what I mean?
I mean, in a way they do, but in a way, it's such a secretive.
Right. And that in itself is understandable. You know?
Yeah.
There is a few things, but I just think that there's a few things that they could be clearer on. You know? I mean, the government, the way it is, is when you ask them about it, they kind of answer without really answering it. You know what I mean? Like, hey, are there aliens there? They're not going to say nothing about it. And you're going to be like, okay, well, they didn't say no. You know what
I mean, there has been several people come out and say, per the government, that there's no aliens there, that they just test new airplanes and jets there.
Which that could be very much so.
And there was a scientist who said that there was a site that wasn't Area 51 that did have alien technology.
In Nevada?
It wasn't in Nevada. I think he said it was in Mexico. That he was there and he was working with the alien technology, but has since then been moved, but it had not been moved to Area 51.
Right. You know what I've always thought about? How much do they get paid?
A lot.
Because I would love to do that. Like, I would just love to come home. How was work, honey? You can't talk about it.
Yeah, no. Can't know anything.
Right.
And the cleaning crew and everything have to come in on a private jet.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
I heard a lot of the workers did.
But the Area 51 attack plan includes the Kyles, which...
Oh, yeah, the Kyles.
If you don't know what that they're the guys who wear...
Drink monsters and punch holes in drywall.
The Naruto runners, which is based off the...
Anime fanboys.
Yeah. The rock throwers, which are people who throw rocks.
People like me.
The Karens, which are the people that complain.
Ma'am. It's ma'am.
The anti-vax kids, obviously, who
guarantee you they won't make it far.
Probably not. And then everyone else. If you do not fit into a group...
Save your bullets with the anti-vax kids. Just sneeze on them.
Yeah.
They will not make it far.
So, if you're not into all this, there is a Facebook page, the Storm Area 51, They Won't Be Able to Stop Us All page. And there's also the actual event page on Facebook, too.
And there is a lot more funny memes going around about this of other ones that...
yeah, like there's, hey guys, I'm vegan. Can I help with anything?
Like, there's a few that I know of that, how do I want to put this? With YouTube standards, I would not say. So I'm not going to. But they are hilarious.
Hey, I'm going to save this one, and I'm going to post it right here. But it says, when my new homie from Area 51 finds out Donald Trump is trying to deport aliens.
That's funny.
I can't remember what time we actually started recording this. We're at like 8 minutes. Okay.
That's cool.
So, there's a lot of people at least planning on showing up. Whether or not they do or not.
Right.
I mean, just to go to Nevada, that part of Nevada, there are a lot of alien, like, cafes and stuff there.
Oh, yeah, which I would love to go to Nevada just to go take a picture at the Area 151 sign that, you're actually able to go take a picture at.
The guards still come up to that.
Yeah, the guards still come up to it, but as long as you're there taking a picture of it, the guards don't do anything.
Yeah.
Which I might want to do that before September. Because I feel like after September, that is not going to be allowed.
Nothing's going to be... Actually, they might not even allow it now because they know it's happening.
Right.
Like,
which I feel like this might be a meme to thousands and thousands of people, but I feel like this is something that the government probably takes very, very lightly. You know what I mean? Doesn't take very lightly.
Yeah, they're going to be very serious about this. Well, and it's a threat to the government security.
Right. So I do believe with this going on that if a raid does happen, I do not believe that I feel like the government would go lethal with it.
Well, they've already posted a public statement saying that they will shoot and they will kill.
Oh yeah, which is very reasonable, because at that point, if you're storming a private base on the U.S. soil, you can actually be charged with treason. I believe at that point.
If you make it out alive, yeah.
Yeah.
Which,
Which I can't wait to have kids just so I can be like, I was there.
Oh, yeah. There's people actually going to show up to document the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
If
some guards are going to roll up to them, like, what are you doing, baby, bro? Home movie. I ain't even a part of it. I'm just watching everybody get gunned down. Cold blood. Civil War.
The government said that any attempt to illegally cross the area is highly discouraged. Area 51 is an open training range for the U.S. Air Force, and we would discourage anyone from trying to come into the area where we train American Armed Forces.
Which also, I don't know if you knew, but even if you get in close enough range on a mountain to even take a picture, you will be followed by a helicopter.
Really?
By an armed helicopter, yeah. Like, if you get, like, I know that there is, like, a hill or a mountain. I forget what it is. But if you have a high enough camera, you can take a picture of it. And if you are known to be there, there will be armed helicopters circling your area.
Well, I know that the actual Area 51 base is smaller than that Area 51 area.
Yeah.
It's believed to be somewhere in the middle of it.
Yeah. Do you know how Area 51 got its name?
No, it doesn't say in this article.
Well, I believe, was it the Aztecs that were in around the area? I don't. It was some native group, and what they did was they split Nevada into areas. Area 1, Area 2, stuff like that, and that's how Area 151 got its name, because where they built it was inside Area 51.
That makes sense.
So that's how it got a name. Don't quote me.
But
I'm
the
like 95% sure.
belief that aliens are here and that we have some of their technology is a major problem.
I do believe that we have the technology.
I mean, like we just said a few minutes ago that the scientist said that he worked with the alien technology.
Yes.
Aliens throughout history have always been a thing. At least for us, because we don't understand how certain things were built, like the pyramids.
What if E.T. was based off a legit alien?
I mean, it was made by Steven Spielberg, right?
I don't know.
The guy has a pretty fucked up mind, so it's a possibility.
And then, but like, what if E.T. was violent? Oh, yeah, it's called It. My bad.
I never understood it because he dances.
He's a clown. Duh. Well, no, he's actually an entity.
Yeah,
that came from a different planet in the form that he's a fucking clown. I don't know. There used to be a killer clown. You think fucking people question him?
I mean, no, they're probably dead before they ever get the chance.
Probably.
So, anyways, so the pyramids were built, and they all have tunnels going through them, but there is no oxygen throughout the pyramid.
That's why you take an oxygen tank in there.
I mean, I guess there is oxygen, but there's not enough to help fire be fired.
Oxygen tank.
That brings into question how the pyramids were made so long ago, especially moving all those big blocks.
Need you go back to kindergarten?
Yep.
Big cubes. I think it's a more technical answer you were looking for.
Is it big cubes or is it big blocks? Big rectangles.
I'm done with this podcast.
Thank you for watching. My name is Eric. All right, welcome back. I hope you liked the nothingness that was that break.
Right, no shit.
So now we're going to talk about ghosts and hauntings. Personal story, when I was a kid, I lived in a farmhouse with my grandparents. And
you had grandparents?
I still do have grandparents.
Oh,
and I probably they're like 2 blocks away right now.
There's a lot of stuff coming out about you that I didn't know here lately.
Yeah. But we lived in a farmhouse. It was in Russia, Ohio. And my grandpa was home alone. And
that's a movie.
He was playing on the computer, which the computer was right here, and then there were stairs, right? And so he was playing on the computer, and he heard and saw 2 little kids run down the stairs laughing. And he thought it was me and my cousin Lacey, but we were both at school. So I guess he shrugged it off, and then apparently it was a week later. When my grandma was home alone, she heard the refrigerator open and slam shut. And so she yelled apparently at me because she thought it was me. But I was just getting off the school bus. So I mean, I have personal experiences, like for myself. At the farmhouse, I was sleeping in a sleeping bag in the living room, and I got up to get a drink of water, and I looked up the stairs, and someone was staring down at me.
Did you tell them that you're going to pee on them?
No, I just ran back in my sleeping bag, went to sleep.
I was like, I'm about to R. Kelly you.
So, anyways, talking about ghosts, do you have any personal experiences?
Me personally, it kind of is, kind of didn't. I didn't see them. But kind of like you, when I grew up, we lived in a farmhouse. Me, my dad, my brother, and my mom. And it was a pretty old farmhouse. My parents actually rented it, so we didn't like own it or no shit. And it's funny because we always call my mom crazy because none of us ever seen ghosts there except my mom. My mom was the only person that's ever seen them. So we always call her crazy. Every time she tells a story, we're all like, bullshit. But she said that she was asleep one night, and she would see two kids walk out of her closet, out of my parents' closet bedroom, walk into me and my brother's room. And at this time, don't judge. Me and my brother had fucking bunk beds.
Same.
Okay. And one would climb into bed with my brother, and one would climb into bed with me. And she said it happened like almost every night.
It's weird.
Which is weird. Which it does make sense now that I talk about it, because there was a lot of nights where I woke up on the fucking floor. Not even on the bed, on the fucking floor. That ghost was a dick.
So there has been a lot of stories of ghosts happening, and there's been a lot of movie remakes of them.
Mm-hmm. I do believe that the ghost population, seers, whatever you want to call them, ghost believers, is going up.
But why?
I don't know. If you want to hear a funny story, one time I thought I had a ghost experience, but I did not.
Oh, yeah.
I was young and stupid. So at the house that I grew up in, where my parents live now, we have a big ceiling fan that's built into the wall, into the ceiling.
Okay.
You pull it and shutters come down, big ass fan. Well, I'm at home. I'm just chilling there. And I start hearing these shutters just violently shake out of nowhere, dude. Just violent as fuck. So I'm like, what the fuck? What? So, my luck, telephone, house phone, wasn't allowed to have a cell phone back then. House phone, right next to the ceiling fan. So my head, like, nah. Not getting it. Got me fucked up. 5 more minutes go past the violent shaking. Yeah, maybe I should go get it. Maybe I should go get it before I die.
Yeah.
Mind you, it's fucking December outside. Mind you, I seen the violent shaking of the ceiling fan. Mind you, I did not like it, and I went outside with the phone. So I called my mom. Mom pissed off because I called her at work. You know how that goes. I tell her what I encountered, and I told her that I thought that it was a ghost. And she knew this because the first thing she heard when she answered the phone was, "Our house is haunted." That was the first thing she heard. So my mom was like, "It's not haunted, all this." And I'm like, "It is haunted though, Mom was like, "Well, then where you at now?" I was like, "I'm outside." 15-degree weather. I'm like 8. So I was like, okay. And I was in the phone call. 2 hours go by of me just chilling outside on the front porch with the house phone. My mom comes home. She's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "The house is haunted." She's like, "The house isn't haunted. Go in there. It's still violently shaking." My mom was like, "That's because there's a draft outside and it's coming through the house." She's like, "It's coming into the house somehow, and the draft is going through the attic and coming out and pushing the fucking."
It must have been a strong ass draft.
I about pissed myself.
Shake like that?
Yes.
Jeez.
Well, I mean, they were very flimsy anyway, so.
Oh, okay. That makes
it wasn't like hard shutters, no. They were very flimsy. And, surprisingly, I lived that down. I was surprised. I was really surprised. I used to hear people call my name in my sleep.
I still hear people call my name all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is,
It's
but
weird.
I'm just going to deal with it now. But anyways, how do you feel? Because obviously, when people come out with The Haunting in Connecticut and Annabelle and stuff
Annabelle
like
is true.
it's based on a true story,
Yes.
but the movie version is not fully true.
I mean, yeah, obviously it's a movie. You know, I mean, you're never gonna get the 100% truth unless it's as a documentary, and even those aren't 100% true half the time.
But how do you feel about, because when you hear a ghost story, you just hear about it. But when someone comes out with a movie, based on the true events of this, you're taking that story and modifying it to what we'll get. But you don't know know what's considered true and what's considered not.
Right.
So, how do you feel about that?
Like my outlook on those movies?
Yeah, like Alec on how you see the movie. It says based on a true story, but
well, I am a very big horror fan. I do like horror movies, and I do some of those movies. I do enjoy some of them. I don't necessarily enjoy, like Annabelle. I never could get into Annabelle. They already made a evil doll, Chucky, so I'm not worried about another one.
Not based on a true story, though.
Not based on a true story, but who's counting? I'm not. But anyways, like, what is it? I don't know. It's weird, I mean, I get that they want something true and that will actually scare somebody, because when something is true and scary like that, it kind of takes you out of your comfort zone a lot, because you know what I mean? Like, you don't really get the gist of it.
Right.
But then again, I also do understand that those people do have to make money at the exact same time. So, of course, they're going to throw in there maybe a little more violent things or stuff like that, which to me is completely understandable.
I mean, yeah, but you're also taking something traumatic that someone went through,
Right?
and making it like 100 times worse.
Maybe they can consent it to it. I don't know.
I mean, and then you got the fact that most scary movies aren't scary.
Nowadays,
like they had their points.
Like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm a bigger fan of older scary movies than I am now.
Yeah.
Like, I say 2010 and after, and before, I mean, are probably where I'm at.
Yeah, I mean, they try. I think...
I feel like the nowadays horror movies are just more jump scares than anything. And don't get me wrong, a lot of things don't scare me, but jump scares scare me. They're fucking jump scares.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's what they're for. But they create a movie that is, like, full-on scary.
Right. I do believe that actually didn't Netflix just came out with one, or is coming out with one?
The Mansion one or whatever.
Something, and they said that's supposed to be like the scariest movie that's been out in years or something like that, is what I read about it.
I know they had a movie with the guy that played Percy Jackson, and I watched it. It wasn't... They did a good job with it to the point where it was like more scary than what normal scary movies are.
Mm-hmm.
But that's because they also played with a lot of like camera angles that normal movies wouldn't play with.
Kind of like the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah.
Thing. See, I enjoy movies like that where it's kind of you're seeing it through the actual camera and not an actual camera. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're seeing it kind of being documented. I like movies like that.
And then there was a one where it's like the TV show on Netflix, to where it's a family going through all these different trauma events. Where their brother's like dead or whatever. And
I don't know. I had to see that.
And it's supposed to be a scary show. Like, it's not scary, but you can get into it, you know?
Oh, I know. I think I know what you're talking about. Something about a mansion, right? It has a mansion in it. I think it's like something haunted hill or some shit like that.
Haunted mansion, something.
No, but I know what you're talking. I got Netflix on my phone.
But it's supposed to be scary.
Chris just said he wanted to watch our podcast.
But to me, more like catches your attention compared to being scary.
Right, and I get that. like attention to detail. You know, I like it when horror movies generally put a lot of detail into it. Like the one I hated, I don't know, I wouldn't necessarily classify it as a horror if it is. Now a lot of you might hate me on this, but it's a Bird Box. That was a shit movie.
Yeah, it wasn't.
And I'll tell you why. It's mainly because I couldn't know. I don't like watching horror movies where I don't know what the scary thing is. You know what I mean? I hate.
You know, there was actually going to be a scene where you could see one that monsters.
Yeah.
But they deleted it because, like, they went and full on made like the
only thing that you can
head
see
of it and everything.
Yeah. Well, the only thing that you can see in Bird Box is pictures of what a guy drew. Which I think one of the things that was right was what was it? When they said it was all the mythic gods and beasts and demons is what I think it really kind of ended up coming to, because that was kind of the only thing that kind of gave you that idea.
Yeah.
So I think that's what a lot of people went with. I mean, that's what I went with.
The main chick, the one who makes it at the end, apparently she was supposed to have a dream when she was pregnant, but the baby that came out was one of the monsters. But they deleted it because technically if she would have looked at it, she would have killed herself.
Right.
So it never made it to the final movie.
Which, no offense, I think she was a bitch throughout that whole movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, how you gonna send that little girl to go do it because it ain't your kid? Like, come on now, bruh, man up.
I mean, how would you feel if you were in that situation though?
If I was in that situation, like, don't get me wrong, I would be scared because it's a real life event. You know what I mean? Whenever the wind blows, you got to worry about killing yourself. You know? I mean, did they kill themselves or did they just die? I can't remember.
They killed themselves.
They killed themselves. So, I mean, let alone that already is a very scary moment for a lot of people. But, like, for instance, Eric, you had a kid. I had a kid. You died. You asked me to look after the kid. I'm not going to be like, hey, well, you're not my kid, so you look and steer this boat. No, I'm not going to do that, you know. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's still someone else's kid, and I don't know. There's just a lot of feelings I have on it.
The one thing that gets me about Bird Box is there's a lot of movies exactly like it.
There is. I've like, what is it? The Mist or the Fog? What is it, the Mist? It's one of the. Isn't something after that?
I know John, the guy who plays Jim in The Office. Yeah. He directed one. But, like, you actually see the monster that kills him. And if you make a noise, it kills you.
And by the way, since that just got said, let me just put this out there. The Office is an amazing show. And I do believe that all you viewers out there should go watch it. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, if you haven't gave The Office a chance, it's
it is a very, in my eyes, it is a very particular comedy feel,
but
comical feel.
The UK version sucks.
Oh yeah, the UK version of anything is terrible.
Yeah, it is. It's all the same jokes and all the
UK
same
can't even make hot women. Okay.
Yeah.
Let alone TV shows.
But yeah, there's the different versions. The hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil, and like.
Is that a movie? I didn't know that was a movie.
No, I'm just saying there's the different versions of the Bird Box.
Right.
Like, there's been multiple ones out to where if you make a noise, they come after you and kill you. Yeah. And there's ones that, you can't open your eyes when they're around or else you're dead.
Well, I can't find that show, so I'm just going to quit looking. I'm tired.
Props, I'm trying.
At the end of the day, that's all men are really good for. Just trying. Boom, shots fired.
Same. But, I don't know. I think that's going to end the podcast.
Okay.
Is there anything you want to say?
Love you, Chris. That's all I wanted to say.
All right.
I had to say it.
Thanks for coming on to the podcast, and
Thanks
hope to have
me.
you on more podcasts.
I hope to be on more podcasts.
This one was slightly awkward, but they will get better the more we do it.
Just wanted to say, first podcast, don't judge.
Yeah. we will have more stuff to talk about in the next podcast.
We will work on it.
My name is Eric.
My name is Chad.
And we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.